Welcome to the Regular Guys on JDK Video. As you can see, it's just me today. Kevin and Dave couldn't be here in this video, but I'll try to do my best without my partners. Celebrate my birthday and my anniversary today with you guys, so I figured I'd get a little work done and get you a video out. In today's episode, I'm going to talk about YouTube. I have what my wife calls a unhealthy addiction to YouTube. I call it an addiction as well. I'm going to touch on some of my favorite channels, the different kinds of content they put out, but it's not going to be everything I watch. Obviously, if I did that, we'd be here all day. And I've already got many pages of notes on the things that I do plan to talk about. Hopefully this video won't run on too long, but my goal in this video is to get you to check out some new channels and see if they're right up your alley, and hopefully, you know, if there's anything out there that I don't have on this list that my viewers, or our viewers I should say, think is content that we might be interested in, put it in the comments. We'll check it out and hopefully everybody will enjoy. The first group, before I start, cheers. All right, the first group of channels I'm going to focus on, their content is deals with fun competitions, challenges, and overnights. A quick rundown of the list is Jay Stu, Ryan Trahan, Just Dustin, LA Beast, Mr. Beast, and Nick D. Giovanni. Jay Stu has a great team of people who not only help with the channel, but they end up in the videos. Anything from their editors to their constructioneers, these people can end up in any type of overnight challenge, budget challenges, and things like that. It's not uncommon to see editors and everyone on the channel, as well as the main people on the channel. You got Justin and Andrew and Isaac are the main people for the in the videos, but you always have other people from the channel showing up in videos and having a good time. The next person, Ryan Trahan, right now he's doing a 50 states in 50 days challenge to raise money for St. Jude. I've been keeping up with it. Him and his wife have been traveling. At this point, I think they are currently in Pigeon Forge, Tennessee, which is pretty neat because that's where my wife and my family and I just got back from our own vacation down in Tennessee last week. So it's pretty neat to know that he's come that way, and look forward to seeing him come through Ohio before too long. But he does a lot of videos where he travels, eats different places, stays at different places, and kind of rates different places and how well, you know, 1-star places, and he'll do make sure he gives them a 5-star and gives reasons for why they should be a 5-star and things like that. So his videos are really good, and he does a lot of charitable stuff, which is always fun to be part of and watch. Just Dustin and his team do a lot of destructible wall competitions, whether it's, you know, chocolate wall versus candy wall, or styrofoam, or whatever they're doing. They do a lot of destruction videos. I've been following him for a few years, and he does a lot of breaking stuff, which is, you know, good fun content when it's needed. Another person I watch a lot of, LA Beast. He does a lot of eating competition videos, whether it's, you know, actually going to restaurants and doing a competition, or even just ordering things or having things sent to him and he eats them. They're always kind of fun to watch, and he's kind of a silly guy and fun to pay attention to. Next, Mr. Beast. Obviously, he does a lot of things, but his biggest thing is seeing some of his charitable videos where he's going to other countries and helping dig wells or build housing and things like that. Always wonderful to see people when they make it big giving back, and he's one of the ones that does it a lot. My last one in this group, Nick D. Giovanni, does a lot of cooking challenges and food history videos. He brings a lot of people in and tries to teach them how to cook and turn them into good cooks and stuff like that. So it's always a fun kind of video, and obviously he's an excellent chef, but he does a lot of content with other YouTubers as well, which is always fun to watch. The next group of content that I like to enjoy are for the animal lovers out there and the conservationists and stuff like that. Quick list of some of the people I'm going to talk about are Flair, Paul Cafario, Bass Fishing Productions, Camp Keenan, Wiccan's Wicked Reptiles, and Brian Barczyk. First one, Flair. He does a wide range of content, lots of fun videos, anything from fishing, hunting. He does a lot of construction stuff, or he has in the past. He's done survival challenges, and then lots of catch, clean, cooks. But he also, not on top of that, he also has a wide range of animals that he keeps on his property, and he shows, you know, different types of care and stuff that he does with these animals, and interactions with them, which is always fun. And he's got a good way of naming his animals, human names, which always makes it fun and interesting as well. A lot of people are kind of tough on the type of videos that he does, because he does, you know, hunt and fish and stuff, and I understand, but if you look at it through a conservation type lens, you're going to see that everything he does is for the betterment of the animals anyways, because if you don't hunt and fish, these animals will overpopulate, or will have issues in that case. The next guy I'm going to talk about is Paul Cafario. He's got a nice little farm that he's building, nice little zoo. Got a bunch of different animals. Does a lot of fish videos. He's got some nice aquariums and a building on his property. And he does just a lot of building and living his best life. Always makes interesting content and just shows his care for animals, which is always fun. Bass Fishing Productions, the gentleman on that channel, he goes around to different waterways in Florida and tries catching invasive species and taking them out of the waterways, and he tends to keep them in different aquariums and ponds around his property. Lately he's been doing some other stuff, ordering animals, buying animals, fish, turtles, things of that nature, and doing different stuff with them, which is always fun and interesting. And he was also doing a lot of saving animals that were being thrown away at pet shops and stuff like that. Different content like that, but always very interesting, and seeing the type of fish that have been let loose in Florida and are now an invasive species in our waterways. The next content creator, Camp Keenan, another big animal guy, also in Florida, I believe, but he cares for and houses tons of different types of animals, and does videos about, you know, caring for them, feeding videos, things of that nature, and just talks about the lifestyle and tries to do the best for the animals, which is great, and always interesting content for someone like me. I enjoy watching those type of things going on. The next guy, Wiccan's Wicked Reptiles. I got hooked on him a couple years ago. At first it was mostly like top 5 reptiles for this size cage or care videos that he does, which are always interesting. He's got quite a collection of reptiles, amphibians that he keeps, does tons of videos about different types of reptiles, even some things he doesn't keep, but you can definitely tell he cares about making sure animals are kept right and getting that information out there, and it's always very instructive, and you'll enjoy seeing Diamond in his videos, his bearded dragon that tends to be his co-host through most of his videos. The last person I'm going to speak of is Brian Barczyk. He's the OG to animal YouTube videos. He cared for animals and loved his animals and put out content that everyone liked to hear, but he was also just a very kind person. You could tell from his videos, and his team and family are continuing his mission. They're building a big aquarium. They have, a reptile zoo, doing a lot for animals and getting the information out there. So it's wonderful to see that they're continuing his mission even after his passing. The next group, I am a diehard Steelers fan, and I have a lot of channels that I watch that deal with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Anything from podcast channels to highlights and just current updated news. There's a good chance that I'm watching at least something about Pittsburgh Steelers once a day at least, and it's my favorite team, my favorite sport. I'm actually going to be in Pittsburgh next month for training camp. My stepson and I are going to go watch training camp next month, so we're looking forward to that. But some of the channels that are creators I listen to, Pittsburgh Dad, Steelers Talk by Chat Sports, All Steelers Talk, Steel Curtain Network, Arthur Moats Deke, Not Just Football with Cam Hayward, It's Jensburg, Pittsburgh Steelers channel itself, and then Channel 7, which is Ben Roethlisberger's podcast that he posts also on YouTube. Like I said, it's anything from highlights to news, and I keep up with it all the time, watch it all the time. A lot of the podcasts, if I don't watch them on YouTube, I listen to them when I'm at work anyway, so I'm always updated with everything going on and enjoying the content that they put out. The next channel I do, the rest of them are kind of separate from any group, but they some of them do have similar things. The Fat Electrician's channel that my brother-in-law got me hooked on a couple years ago. When it started out, his content, the first 2 videos I watched of his hit really deep with me being a veteran. He talked about the E4 Mafia and the Army cooks and how things go with that, and he couldn't have been any more accurate with the information he put out in those 2 videos. With me being an active duty cook for 4 years and an E4 for a good portion of that time, it was really fun to listen to. He also does a lot of videos about military history and military knowledge, but he also has another channel where he talks about civilian businesses and how they ran and how they do so well and stuff like that. But he's very good at his job, excellent speaker, excellent content, and just really interesting person in general to listen to and watch his content. So definitely check out the Fat Electrician and the Fat Files. Those are 2 channels that he runs that are great, and he also does a podcast from time to time with some other gentlemen. Great content. The next person is next creator is Matthew Santoro. He does facts videos and general knowledge, fun stuff. He puts out, a video almost every single day, I believe, and it could be anything from 50 amazing facts that you didn't know to a more directed type video, 10 places that you're not allowed to go and things like that, but really good stuff. The next one is Good Mythical Morning and all their sub channels. So they have Good Mythical Morning, they have Smosh, they have Good Mythical More. I believe they're still doing stuff on that, and then they have like Mythical Kitchen and things of that nature. I'm not as up to date on all of their stuff, but I do watch a lot of Mythical Kitchen. Especially right now, I've really gotten into last meals, where Josh, the mythical chef, sits down and prepares last meals for different people, and then talks to them about different things in their lives and their careers and things that they've done. And it's very interesting, very fun, and just well put together. They have a great team over there. They put out really good content on all their channels, so it's definitely something to look into. The only thing I have to say negatively about it is Smosh. You gotta bring back Eat It or Eat It. That stuff was awesome. I always loved watching it. You need to bring it back. Hopefully it does happen. If not, I'm still gonna be rooting for it to happen. The last few content creators I'm going to talk about are just different random content that I enjoy. I'm not going to get too in depth about them. The first one is Corporal's Corner. He does survival, bushcraft type stuff. Cooks some extravagant meals for the small amount of gear he has with him out there, but he does a really great job. Really interesting videos. Something that we've talked about doing something similar, not to his scale, of course, but similar content where we go out and do survival with a small amount of gear or a small amount of stuff that we buy from Walmart or the dollar store or so forth, and just see who does a better job in the survival type video. But it's just really interesting content he puts out. He builds some extravagant stuff, and just does great work. Love to see his content. The next one, it was actually a channel on or it was a show on TV, Survivor Man with Les Stroud. Loved his show, Survivor Man. Watched it for years and enjoyed every minute of it. But I still watch it on YouTube, catch up on different stuff he's doing, but excellent content, very instructive. If you're into survival, bushcraft, things of that nature, check it out, and just, he's going to teach you stuff that you didn't even know you wanted to know. It's just going to be really neat and interesting. The next 3 are just some different types of musicians that I've been interested in and think people should check out. The first one is a band called Walk Off the Earth. Very good. Some of their very early stuff that I watched, they make music in very interesting ways, and it's good music, fun to listen to. They even do some covers, but they play, strange instruments or use common household things as instruments. A lot of ukulele playing. It's just a fun group. The next group is Pentatonics. They're a cappella group that I watched on TV. They were on a competition called the Sing Off, and great songs, very good. Not everything they put out is the kind of music I like to listen to, but just the amazing abilities they have to make music without instruments is amazing. And the last group, and one of my favorite a cappella groups in the world, Home Free. They're still putting out lots of new content out on YouTube, and they're a great group. I'm actually going to see them in September in Ohio, but their music is just amazing. They also won a season of the Sing Off, but they put a lot of content out, and if you just want to listen to some good a cappella music, once again, no instruments, they're just very talented men who put out great music and are fun to watch. The next person I'm going to talk about is Arcade Matt. He's a video game arcade kind guy. He also goes to carnivals and travels to all these big arcades. He's even been to Cedar Point and Sandusky and done both their carnival games and their arcade. But he's from the Pittsburgh area, which also drives me to watch him, because being a Steelers fan and a Penguins fan, I like hearing about that kind of area and knowing about those kind of people. But he goes to a bunch of different arcades, plays different games, shows you, how to win certain things and do certain things, but really fun to watch. The next one is Super Carlin Brothers. I don't watch them as much as I had. They do a lot of Harry Potter quizzes and talk about different Disney shows and different things, and Marvel and stuff like that. Just fun guys to watch. They do every year. They do I can't remember when it is, but they do a quiz, and if they get the question wrong, they have to eat these hot wings, and it's just fun to watch these guys, and they're very interesting. And the last one, and probably the one besides Mr. Beast that needs not much explanation, Do Perfect. Love their content. They put out a lot of good things, a lot of fun stuff to watch, and they're just fun guys, kind of guys that would be neat to hang out with and just get to know and things of that nature. But that ends my list. Like I said, it is not a complete and total list. I watch random stuff all the time, new things all the time. Lots of history stuff. There's a channel called Weird History. I like watching some of their stuff. Infographics, Watch Mojo, tons of different other channels that I can't even begin to remember all of them. But for people out there that don't spend a lot of time watching TV or things like that, but just like to catch new videos and new content, there's a lot out there on YouTube. Check it out. And like I said, if there's stuff out there that you found that is really neat, share it in the comments. We'll check it out and talk about it if it's something that we enjoy. But other than that, that's all I have for you guys today. Go out there and like, subscribe, and comment. That's one thing that we're hoping for, is to get more comments from people. If there's anything that you're interested in or want us to do or would like to see us do. We've talked to some people that watched our content and they have some ideas and gave us some stuff. But we've got some things that we're going to do on the horizon ourselves. We're going to do some food tasting things, hot foods, sour foods, things like that. We're thinking of doing something where we will, try a one-chip challenge or something at the beginning of video, and then go through the content after that, what we're talking about, whether it be something to do with conspiracy theories or an update video or whatever, and just kind of have fun with our faces burning off and trying to talk about a subject. If that's something you guys are interested in, comment below, let us know. But other than that, like I said, like, subscribe, turn on that notification bell, and just, let us know what you want to hear, see, and we're going to do what we can to make sure that you guys get all the content that we can put out. Thank you. Cheers.